Oh, hello, this is Peter Bull from Get in Touch Books. What I want to talk to you about today is learning online. Now, as you can imagine, learning online is very effective, and this is how a lot of people are learning today. One of the great advantages of learning online is you can have a lot of different teachers. So a teacher that particularly suits your style is a good teacher to have because you'll learn from them. And you can experiment by trying lots of different teachers until you find one that works. Also, learning online gives you an infinite amount of graphics and video to watch to make it more easy to understand. The trouble with learning online is that how do you know that the information you're given is true? There's no vetting, or very little. In the old days when people learned in schools and colleges, they didn't know absolutely that things were true, but then their teachers were vetted in some way. They had to train as teachers. They had to know their subjects. So learning in a college or a school was sort of guaranteed. But as we went into the online world, we have a lot of stuff that's unedited, unsolicited. We don't know where it's coming from. So when you're using, for example, a thing like YouTube, like you're listening to now, how do you know what people are saying is correct? How do you know what I'm saying is correct? Well, all you can do is to take a series of different topics, whatever your topic is, and look at a lot of different teachers. Take an average, that usually works quite well. Also, you can override or check out, cross-check from a book. So if a teacher says something online, check it in the book. If you read it in the book, check it online. So the modern way of learning is really a cross-reference between different medias. This is how learning is done now, very different from the old days. Now, learning online has many, many benefits. It also has some disadvantages. Because if you start reading a lot of contradictory things, you don't know what to believe. You don't know whether one thing is correct or another thing is correct. They could all be correct. But sometimes when they are contradictory, something is wrong. And often you'll read something that someone's written that is totally wrong. And if you accept it and believe it just like that, it will impede your education and understanding of subjects, whatever they might be. So what is a good idea, as I say, is to take a range of different topics. So say your topic was, I don't know, understanding how the sun works, for example. So you go to maybe 5 or 6 YouTubes, you look at something on Wikipedia, you might look at something online, just from a website, reading about the sun. You can then cross-check that with a book or whatever other methods you have. And over time, those different things will fit in together, and the average is usually pretty accurate. Not always, but it's usually pretty accurate. One danger you have to watch is people tend to copy one another. So if something's written online, someone will write the opposite. They'll write anything to measure or copy or contrast what it is that's already been written. So those situations, you're getting a complete mix of information. They say these days people don't absorb or hold on to information so much. Their attention span is much slower. This is partly because they're overexposed to information. You see, too much information is as useful as too little. In other words, it's useless. If you have too much information on a topic, you don't know what to discern. Information should be in bite-sized chunks that you can then allow to soak into your brain and become a long-term understanding or memory. But if it's constantly changing and moving, you're constantly changing and moving your understanding, your brain can't hang on to it. And I suspect this might be the cause of some of these modern learning difficulties that we're having. People are overexposed to information. And when you're learning, when you're studying online, what is your physical condition? Have you got a good posture? Are you well relaxed? Have you eaten? And all these kind of things affect your ability to learn. Now, when you're learning something, the most important thing is to be relaxed. Learning online can help you to do this because often you don't have a time limit. If you're in a traditional classroom or something like that, you have 40 minutes or an hour or whatever it is to study and learn the subject. A teacher or a lecturer gives you information and you have to try and absorb it in that time and then go and study it further. But learning online is much slower and can be much more deep if you use it in the right way. You can deepen your knowledge through time. So that's a few points about learning online. It's a great, great opportunity. But don't just take one guru or one expert's opinion. Check it out. Cross-check, cross-check, cross-check that your information you're being given is correct. And that way, hopefully, you will gain a great deal more information or learning or study or whatever it is you're doing than you had before. Okay, nice to see you. Thanks for that. See you again soon. Bye.